Hello students, welcome to my channel Learning History Made Easy. In today's video, I will be explaining about the Anglo French Rivalry. That is, I will explain about the First, Second and Third Carnatic War. Before going into the video, if anyone is seeing the channel for the first time or if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and share it with your friends. And also click the bell button to receive notifications whenever I upload new videos. So without wasting time, let us get into today's video. So today's video, as I have told, is about the Anglo-French rivalry. Anglo-French rivalry. Okay. So regarding the Anglo-French rivalry, England and France were competitors. Okay, England and France, that is France, they were competitors in establishing colonies in America and India. So they both had competition. Why do they have competition? To establish colonies in America as well as India. Okay, so they were competitors, and because of this it led to the war between the two. Because of this competition, it led to the war between the both, that is England and France. They fought for 20 years to establish their supremacy in the Deccan. So the war between England and France is called as the Anglo-French rivalry, and it was because they were competitors in establishing colonies in America and India. Now let us directly go on to the First Carnatic War. First Carnatic War. The First Carnatic War is the first war in the Anglo-French rivalry from 1746 to 1748. So here you have to listen carefully. In 1740, what happened was there was a war between England and France over the question of Austrian succession. So this was the reason for the war between England and France in 1740. This same incident led to a war between them in India. This led to a war between them in India also. So in their native they were fighting on the question of Austrian succession. That same reason led to a war between them in India. And what happened in the war between them in India? The English commander, his name was Burnet, he captured some French ships. Some French ships were captured by the English commander. And during that time, the French governor, the governor of France, his name was Dupleix, he wanted to capture Madras. Okay, Dupleix wanted to capture Madras. And Madras was in the hands of English. And for capturing Madras, this French governor Dupleix, he sought the help of French governor of Mauritius. Okay, he sought the help of French governor of Mauritius, and he captured Madras. So Madras was captured by France in 1746. So first in 1740 there was a war between England and France for Austrian succession. The same reason led to a war between them in India. English commander was Burnet. He captured some French ships, and French governor, his name was Dupleix, he wanted to capture Madras, and with the help of the French governor of Mauritius, he captured Madras in 1746. So now Madras came into the hand of France. Okay, now Madras came to the hand of France. Later later what happened was Madras was returned to the English. Madras was later returned to the English, and this was returned for 40,000 pounds. 40,000 pounds. For 40,000 pounds, Madras was returned to English. But when Madras was returned to English, this returning Madras to English was not liked by Dupleix. Dupleix did not agree to this. Okay, and what he did was he recaptured Madras. So once more, if you see, Madras was in the beginning with the English. Okay, later Dupleix, with the help of French governor, he captured Madras. Okay, now it came into the hands of France. After that, France gave it back to the English for 40,000 pounds. But Dupleix did not like it and he recaptured Madras. So this is how the sequence of events are happening. So now Dupleix recaptured Madras, and English were not happy with this. And what English did, English sought the help of Anwaruddin, who was the Nawab of Arcot, also called as Carnatic. That is how the war name became Carnatic War. So English sought the help of Anwaruddin because they somehow want to defeat France and get back Madras. So English sought the help of Anwaruddin, and what happened was Anwaruddin ordered France to free Madras. Okay, Anwaruddin, to help the English, he came and he ordered France to free Madras. So naturally Dupleix did not agree to this. Dupleix told, we are not going to. Dupleix did not agree to free Madras. So Dupleix did not agree to give back Madras. And because of this, Anwaruddin decided to fight a war. Anwaruddin sent a huge army, a huge army of 10,000 he sent to capture Madras. He sent a huge army and he wanted to capture Madras, and the battle was fought. The first Carnatic war was fought. It was fought at Saint Thome. Okay, the battle was fought. Now a small French army, the French army was not as big as Anwaruddin's army. A small French army consisting of 1,100 soldiers, it easily defeated the Nawab's army. See, Nawab's army was huge. 10,000 soldiers were there, but French army was small, but they were well trained. That is why they easily defeated the Nawab's army. So this proved the supremacy of the well-trained European army. Anwaruddin's army was traditional Indian army. And finally, a treaty was signed. The treaty's name was the Treaty of Aix-la-Chapel. This was the treaty which ended the war in Europe. See, we already said that all this happened because there was a war between England and France over the Austrian succession. So the Treaty of Aix-la-Chapel ended the war in Europe. As per one of the treaty, the first Carnatic war also ended in India. War ended in India also. When the war ended in Europe, war ended in India also. And finally, we have to know what happened to Madras. Madras was returned to British. Returned to the British. Okay. So finally, Madras was given back. So what happened was Dupleix, when the English asked Dupleix to give back Madras, Anwaruddin asked Dupleix to give back Madras. Dupleix did not agree. Anwaruddin's army went to capture Madras. Battle happened at Saint Thome, and French army, which was very small but well trained, defeated Nawab's army. But finally, when the war ended in Europe, Treaty of Aix-la-Chapel was signed, and the war ended in India also, and Madras was returned to British. So this was the first first Carnatic War. Okay, so now let us just go through the points once more so that we are thorough with the points. Okay, establishment of British supremacy in India, Anglo French rivalry. England and France were competitors in establishing colonies in America and India. This led to the war between the two. They fought for 20 years to establish their supremacy in the Deccan. First Carnatic War 1746 to 1748. In 1740, there was a war of succession, war between England and France over the question of Austrian succession. This led to the war between them in India. English commander-Burnet captured some French ships. The French Governor-Dupleix wanted to capture Madras. He sought the help of the French governor of Mauritius, who captured Madras in 1746. Later, he returned Madras to the English for 40,000 pounds. Dupleix did not agree to this and recaptured Madras. English sought the help of Anwaruddin, the Nawab of Arcot. Anwaruddin ordered the French to free Madras. Dupleix refused to do so. Anwaruddin sent a huge army of 10,000 to capture Madras, and the battle was fought at Saint Thome. A small French army of 1,100 defeated the Nawab's army. This proved the supremacy of the well-trained European army over the traditional Indian army. The Aix-la-Chapel Treaty ended the war in Europe. As per one of the treaty, the first Carnatic War ended in India. Madras was returned to the British and the prisoners of the war released. So now let us move on to the next topic, that is Second Carnatic War. Second Carnatic War, which happened from 1748 to 1754. So let us see what happened here. So here there was a civil war of succession, between Anwaruddin and Chanda Sahib at Arcot. Okay, so there was a civil war of succession between Anwaruddin and Chanda Sahib at Arcot, and also Nasirjung and Muzaffar Jung at Hyderabad. So two civil wars of succession were happening. One was between Anwaruddin and Chanda Sahib at Arcot, and one was between Nasirjung and Muzaffar Jung at Hyderabad. Now here also what happened was, if I write it more clearly, I can tell that the first civil war of succession was happening between Anwaruddin on one side, and other side Chanda Sahib was there, and here another side Nasirjung on one side and Muzaffar Jung on the other side. Okay. Now here Dupleix, the French governor, supported Chanda Sahib and Muzaffar Jung. Chanda Sahib and Muzaffar Jung, both of them were supported by Dupleix. Dupleix, you know, he is the French governor. Okay, so French governor supported Chanda Sahib and Muzaffar Jung. So naturally what will happen? British supported Anwaruddin and Nasirjung. Okay, British supported Anwaruddin and Nasirjung. This was the reason for the Second Carnatic War, reason for the fight between the two. Now what happened was, the French troops defeated and killed Anwaruddin. So here the French troops, what they did, they defeated and killed Anwaruddin. Okay, now Anwaruddin was defeated and he was killed by the French troops. And Chanda Sahib was made the Nawab of Arcot. So here in the battle between these two, he won, and Chanda Sahib was made as the Nawab of Arcot. Okay, so now French here was successful. Nasir Jung declared war on Muzaffar Jung with the help of British. So now next group was Nasir Jung and Muzaffar Jung. So Nasir Jung, he declared war on Muzaffar Jung with the support of the British. But Nasir Jung was killed. Okay, in this fight again here Nasir Jung was killed, and Muzaffar Jung, he was made the Nizam of Hyderabad. So both group which was supported by French became successful here. And later he was also killed in a royal interview. That is, later Muzaffar Jung also was killed. Now after that, after Muzaffar Jung was killed, the next Hyderabad Nizam was Salabat Jung. Okay, and later Dupleix and Chanda Sahib, Dupleix was a French governor. Together with Chanda Sahib, they also besieged Tiruchinappalli to kill Muhammad Ali. Okay, so Second Carnatic War actually started because there was a civil war of succession between Anwaruddin and Chanda Sahib in Arcot and Nasir Jung and Muzaffar Jung in Hyderabad. Chanda Sahib and Muzaffar Jung was supported by the French governor, that is Dupleix, and on the other side British supported Anwaruddin and Nasir Jung. And this led to the Second Carnatic War. The French troops defeated and killed Anwaruddin. So here Anwaruddin was killed first, and Chanda Sahib became the Nawab of Arcot. Nasir Jung declared war against Muzaffar Jung, but here also Nasir Jung was killed, and Muzaffar Jung became the Hyderabad Nizam. And later Muzaffar Jung also was killed, and after him Salabat Jung became the Hyderabad Nizam. And Dupleix and Chanda Sahib besieged Tiruchinappalli to kill Muhammad Ali. Now what happened was, after all these things happened, after all these fights was concluded, the British again laid siege to Arcot. British again laid siege to Arcot. Chanda Sahib, as you know, was the Nawab of Arcot. So Chanda Sahib came to protect his capital. Chanda Sahib rushed to protect his capital. But what happened was, on the way Chanda Sahib also was killed. Okay, and when Chanda Sahib was killed, the English made Muhammad Ali the Nawab of Arcot. Now Muhammad Ali became the Nawab of Arcot, and he was supported by the English. Okay, so till then the French were successful. Chanda Sahib became the Nawab, but later the British laid siege to Arcot. Chanda Sahib ran to protect his capital, but he was killed, and Muhammad Ali was made the Nawab of Arcot by the English. And because of this, because of this failure, Dupleix was recalled by the French government. Dupleix was recalled to France by the French government, and this war was ended with the Treaty of Pondicherry. Treaty of Pondicherry ended this war, and both agreed not to interfere in the internal politics of India. That is, both France and English decided that they will not interfere in the internal politics of India. See, whenever they interfere in the internal politics, these kind of things happen. So they both decided that they will not interfere in the internal politics of India. So this is what happened in the Second Carnatic War. So just let us go through the points once more. Second Carnatic War, 1748 to 54. There was a civil war of succession between Anwaruddin and Chanda Sahib at Arcot and Nasir Jung and Muzaffar Jung at Hyderabad. Dupleix, the French governor, supported Chanda Sahib and Muzaffar Jung. The British supported Anwaruddin and Nasirjung. This led to the Carnatic War. The French troops defeated and killed Anwaruddin in the Battle of Amber. Chanda Sahib was made the Nawab of Arcot. Nasirjung declared war on Muzaffar Jung with the help of British. Nasirjung was killed and Muzaffar Jung was made the Nizam of Hyderabad. Later, he was also killed in a royal intrigue. Salabat Jung was made the Hyderabad Nizam by Dupleix. Dupleix and Chanda Sahib besieged Tiruchinapalli to kill Muhammad Ali. British laid siege to Arcot. Chanda Sahib rushed to protect his capital, but he was killed on the way and the English made Muhammad Ali the Nawab of Arcot. Dupleix was recalled by the French government. The war ended with the Treaty of Pondicherry in 1754. The British agreed not to interfere in the internal politics of India. So this was the Second Carnatic War. Now let us move on to the last topic here, that is the Third Carnatic War. Third Carnatic War. Okay. So that is in 1758 to 1763. So the 7 Years' War, there was something called as the 7 Years' War, which was fought between France and England in Europe. See, always it happens when there is a war between both in Europe, it leads to a war in India. So 7 Years' War fought between France and England in Europe was a reason for the war between them in India. So this led to the war in India also. Now here Robert Clive, who was the British governor, he captured Chandranagar, which was a French settlement. Okay, so now here British started, that is Robert Clive, he was a British governor. He captured Chandranagar, which was a French settlement. So when this the place of France was captured by British, now the French sent Count de Lally against the British. So the French sent a person. Now what Lally did, Count de Lally, he seized the fort of Saint David, which was with the British. He seized it and he planned to attack Madras. Madras already we know was given back to the British after the First Carnatic War. So French governor Count de Lally, he captured the fort of Saint David and he decided to attack Madras. So that is how the French governor decided to fight against the British. He recalled Bussey from Hyderabad to help him. So what Count de Lally did, he recalled Bussey from Hyderabad to help him. So there was another person who was coming to help him. But when Bussey went to help Lally, what English did was, English attacked Hyderabad and captured it. They attacked Hyderabad and they captured it. Now the French was completely defeated after this. The French was completely defeated in the Battle of Wandiwash. This happened in 1760. The French was completely defeated. They lost all their settlements. And with this, the 7 Years' War which was happening, the 7 Years' War also ended with the Treaty of Paris. With the Treaty of Paris, the 7 Years' War also ended, and this ended the war in India also. War in India also ended with this. So this is the Third Carnatic War. That is, the 7 Years' War was fought between England and France in Europe. That was the reason for the war in India also. So Robert Clive, he captured Chandranagar, which was a French settlement, and the French sent a person called as Count de Lally to fight against the British. So Count de Lally, he seized the fort of Saint David and he planned to attack Madras, and he called Bussey to help him. But English, they attacked Hyderabad and captured it. French was completely defeated, and they lost all their settlements, and with this the 7 Years' War also ended, and it ended with the Treaty of Paris, that was in 1763. With this the war ended in India also, and after the war ended, all the trading centers, French trade centers, it was returned with restrictions to France. Okay, it was given back to France, but with some restrictions. That is, they have to limit only to trade. The French people were allowed only to do trade. On that condition, it was returned. So this was the end of the Third Carnatic War. So now let us just go through the points. Third Carnatic War. The 7 Years' War fought between France and England in Europe was a cause of war between them in India. Robert Clive, the British governor, captured Chandranagar, which was a French settlement. The French government sent Count de Lally as governor to expel the British from India. Lally seized the fort of St. David and planned to attack Madras. He recalled Bussey and Hyderabad to help him. English attacked Hyderabad and captured it. The French were completely defeated in the Battle of Wandiwash in 1760. They lost all their settlements. The 7 Years' War ended with the Treaty of Paris in 1763. The war in India ended. The trading centers of French were returned with the restrictions to limit themselves only to trade. So these are the points regarding the first, second and third Carnatic War. These points you have to listen very carefully, and you have to learn it in a sequence so that you can write it easily during your exams. So I hope you have understood all these points very clearly. In case of any doubts, you can ask in the comment section, and also don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Your likes and shares will be of a great encouragement for me to make more and more videos. So I hope to see you all soon in the coming video. Thank you for watching.